Hello students, how are you doing over there? It has been long days that you have been locked inside. Anyway, this is your teacher. I am MACKNEROE and I'm going to deal with pronunciation today. So it is mainly for class 8, but it's a general topic. I think every students are going to be benefited with that. Okay, now let's discuss about the term called pronunciation. First of all, many children and many people I have heard mispronouncing that term called pronunciation. Some of them used to say that it's pronunciation, but it's not the correct way of, saying that word. So the correct pronunciation of pronunciation is pronunciation. Okay, to go ahead, let me just tell you the meaning of pronunciation. The way in which the words of a language are made to sound when speaking is called pronunciation, right? Yeah. It's an irony that there are lots of words that we will be knowing, but exactly we won't be able to pronounce them. So I will be telling you about all those words which are commonly mispronounced by us. Okay. So let's look at these words which are flashing over there. The first word, what comes to your mind whenever you see that? Because of spelling, you must mispronounce this as bouquet, etc. But the correct pronunciation of this term is bouquet. And you know the meaning of bouquet? A bunch of flowers is called bouquet. The second term, sweet. Some of the people used to mispronounce this word as suit, but it's not that. The correct pronunciation of this term is sweet. And you know what does that mean? You must have found this room in a large or a big hotel whenever you are out for vacation or something like that. So the meaning for sweet is a large room which is having some cabin which is attached with that. Okay, the next word, what it looks to you, how it appears to you. Extempore? Oh, no way. It's not extempore, it's extempore. Say it again, extempore. And you know the meaning of that? Carried out without preparation. Whenever you have been asked to come out, to present yourself or to do some activities, at that time you'll be doing it promptly. So without preparation, if you do that, that's called extempore and not extempore. The next term, you know it very well. You do it every day. What is it? It's not breakfast. It is breakfast. Breakfast. Say it again, breakfast. And the meaning of that is the first meal of the day, which is taken in the morning. Most of you do that, and I think so right now you have already taken it or you are about to take it. So breakfast. The next term is data. Oh, come on, it's not. It's data or data. Data or data. And you know the meaning of that very well. Whenever you are collecting some information in scientific context, that is called data or data and not data. The next word, what is it? Kernel. The next word is kernel. That is the correct pronunciation of that word, kernel. And the meaning of that is a commissioned officer in the army, etc. So remember that whenever you are pronouncing this word, it's not colonel or something like that, but kernel. Kernel. Now the next word. You must have come across of this one many times whenever you are gone to the hospital or something like that. What is it? Okay, it's a disease that which is transmitted by Aedes mosquitoes, which cause high fever, right? You know that Aedes mosquitoes? which could cause high fever because of biting it? Yes. So most of the people I've heard, especially you children, I've heard this many times from you all, that you used to pronounce this as dengue. But it's not that. The correct pronunciation of this term is dengue. What is it? Dengue. Dengue. Okay. Move on to the next word. Most of you must have said this as accessory, but that is again wrong. It's accessory. Accessory. AK. That is the first sound of that. You have to put stress on AK. Accessory. And you know the meaning of that very well. Something that belongs to a part of another main thing, like accessory. Whenever you are having mobile phone, and the accessory of that mobile phone would be an earphone, speaker, or something which is going to be used with your mobile phone. So that's called accessory and not accessory. So accessory. The next word sounds like archipelago, but again it's wrong. It's not archipelago, it's archipelago. And you know the meaning of that. Group of islands is called archipelago. And it is there in one of the chapter in class 8, tsunami. This term has been used over there, archipelago. So that is the correct pronunciation of that one. The next word. Is it difficult to pronounce? Check that out. What is it? What do you think? What would be that? Come on, try it. It's rendezvous. What is it? Rendezvous. Isn't it weird that, like the word which is appearing over there is not actually sounds the way it is appearing? Yes, it is. So the pronunciation of this term is rendezvous. And you know the meaning of that? What is rendezvous? The meaning of rendezvous is meeting point. If you have a meeting with someone, so that time you can use this term as rendezvous. For example, you can say that I have a rendezvous after 3 hours with one of my friends. So rendezvous. The next word. It's epitome. What is that? Epitome. And you know the meaning of that? The best, the greatest. It's called epitome. But people have mispronounced it as epitome. But it's not that. It's epitome. So the next word. What is it? It sounds like a name of an automobile, a motor groups. Come on, try it. Chevrolet? No, it's not that. That is again a wrong pronunciation. Chevrolet is not the correct pronunciation. The correct pronunciation is Chevrolet. Chevrolet. Come on, repeat after me. Chevrolet. Okay? It's Chevrolet. It's the name of an automobile. The next word. Yeah, you know this very well. This is the term that you used in your school whenever you are back there, and you used to recite it also whenever your teachers ask you to do so. Most of you used to say poem, but again, that is not the correct pronunciation of that word. It's not poem, it's poem. It's poem. For example, some of the people, we will be used to say like poet or poetry, but it's not that. It's poet, poetry. So poem, poet, poetry. So the next word sounds like geyser to you, and to me too also. Nah, it's not that. The correct pronunciation for that one is geyser, which means water heater. And I think some of you are having that in your house. That's a machine, right? Installed or mounted over there in your bathroom. Yes, of course. Whenever you're feeling cold, you turn on your geyser and you take bath. Okay, move on to the next one. How it appears to you? Meme? Yeah, but it's not that. Again, pronunciation for that one is mim. Mim. And you know the meaning of that? It is something that is copied and circulated online with slight changes. That is called meme. You used to do it in your mobile phone whenever you have to share something. So, meme. The next word, how it appears to you? Genre? Junior? No. It genre. Again, genre. And you know the meaning of that? It's a type or class of literature or other artwork. It's called genre. Genre again. The next word, debut. No, it's not that. The correct pronunciation for that word is debut. What is it? Debut. And the meaning for that is first time performance to the public. Whenever a person who is performing for the first time, any kind of event, he is or she is a debut. The next word, Cologne. The correct pronunciation for that word is Cologne. And the meaning for that is perfume. It's not Cologne or Cologne or something like that, but it's Cologne. The next word, it's a name of a vegetable. I think you don't like it sometimes. Me too, I don't like it too. Okay, but you have to know the exact pronunciation of that word, right? It's spinach. Spinach. We call it palak in Hindi. Palak ki sabji. Spinach. It's an edible plant that you use sometime for vegetable. The next word. This is one of the most important words nowadays that we are usually hearing or listening. It's called quarantine. It's not quarantine. It's quarantine. And you know the meaning of that. A sanitary measure to prevent the spread of contagious virus. It's quarantine. The next word, receipt. Some of you must have mispronounced this word as receipt, but it's not that. It's receipt. And it's a written acknowledgement of sum of money that has been received. So the correct pronunciation for that word is receipt. Okay, so the next word is comfortable. No, it's not comfortable. You may be thinking like that, that the spelling is COMFORTABLE, so it would be comfortable. But remember, there shouldn't be no sound of table over there. So the correct pronunciation for this word is comfortable. Again, comfortable. I'm feeling comfortable today. How are you feeling today? Yes, I'm feeling comfortable today. I'm doing as how you're doing. So, comfortable. The next word is develop. It's develop. D-E-V-E-L-O-P. Develop. You have to put stress on D. So, it's develop. The meaning of that is progress. When something is progressing, that's called developing. Develop. The next word is, you know that very well. And I think so most of you guys, most of your kids are using this device right now at home by playing games as you don't have anything to do. But remember that I'm here to give some information about those pronunciation. So the next term is, it's not mobile phone, it's mobile phone. Yes, you have been mispronouncing it wrong. So the correct pronunciation for this term is mobile phone. It's a device, and most of you are having that in your hand right now probably. So mobile phone. The next term is, let me just talk about the meaning first. A mode of transportation, car, or say vehicle, ferry, flight, boat, buses. Yes? Getting it? Yeah. I have heard people saying this, mispronouncing this word as vehicle. Again, as I'm saying that, whenever you look at those words, you don't follow the particular spelling, because whenever you do, it's actually will be making you to commit some blunder. So remember that. It's actually vehicle, and it's not vehicle. It's vehicle. Move on to the next word. Yes, it's the third day of the week. You used to wear white and white uniform whenever you go to school. You do that, right? And how do you say that day? It's Wednesday. So the pronunciation for this particular term is Wednesday. There is no Wednesday, but it's Wednesday. 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 The next word. Come on, I just want you to try out what it looks like to you. Entrepreneur or entrepreneur? Entrepreneur or entrepreneur? It's quite difficult, right? Yes, I know it. So again, this is entrepreneur. What is it? Entrepreneur. Isn't it weird that the word which spells entrepreneur is not entrepreneur or entrepreneur, but entrepreneur? Yes, it is. It's damn weird. So the correct pronunciation for this word is entrepreneur. And you know the meaning of that. Entrepreneur is a person who starts his own or her business. It's called entrepreneur. You used to see them sometimes whenever they are moving around, doing their own businesses. Entrepreneurs, they are known as the entrepreneurs. Okay, the next word. It's quite common. You must have heard of this many times. And you use that also. Whenever some of the retailer used to give you that. What is it? Coupon? No, it's not coupon. It's coupon. Coupon. It's a voucher issued by a manufacturer and retailer. So, it's not coupon, but it's coupon. The next word. P-E-O-N. Ring any bell? Yeah? You are having this gentleman over there in your school. I would say a gentleman, of course, because he does a lot of work. He also listens to you whenever you ask him to do anything, to do so in school. Yeah. First, the meaning of that. A person who is obliged to do menial work. A person who is obliged to do menial work. Most of the work is being performed by this gentleman in the school. So, the correct pronunciation for this one is peon or peon. Peon or peon. It's not peon. Yes, I'm telling you, it's not peon, but it's peon. The next word is bury. No, it's not bury. Bury. And what is the meaning of that? if you bury something in the ground, okay, that's called bury. If you have to dig the ground and then you bury something inside the ground, so the correct pronunciation for that one is bury and not bury. I'm going to bury you, for example. Okay, the next word. How it looks to you? Cache? Cashy? Come on, try that. It's cash. Cash. And you know the meaning of that? Store of things that may be required to the future, which is hidden and protected. I mean, this you can find in your mobile phone. Those things that you store and then you use them sometimes whenever you need them, those things are called cash. So it's not cache, but it's cash. So why I'm telling you all these things, the mispronounced words and all that, these are all common words. These are all common words that you used to speak and you used to communicate with your own friends, with your classmates, with your teachers. Yes, of course you commit mistakes. And these are not completely British English or American English, but these are actually the international phonetic alphabets, which we have to take care. So remember that, children. Whenever you are speaking or trying to say some particular words like that, keep that in your mind that you are speaking them correctly, because that will make a bad impression, right? So you have to remember that. And most of the words are there in your books also. If you try to look at your books or open your books and all that, you'll find out that these words are common. And you're using them and you have been mispronouncing them wrong. You have been mispronouncing them. So keep that in your mind, that whenever you are using such words, remember that you have to focus on your pronunciation as well, because that's the only mean of communicating. So you don't want yourself to be looking awkward whenever you're in front of your friends or teachers. So try to follow that and try to remember all those words which I have just described you right now, and those particular pronunciation and sounds. And if you do that every day, and if you use all this sounds by sound and by talking them out with your loved ones, with your family members, with your friends, then of course one day and every day you are going to be having the habit of speaking them correctly. So that's what I'm saying. Remember them and be careful whenever you are using such terms. So that's all for now. I'm calling it a day. This is your teacher, McEnroe. Thank you.